Hey everybody, and welcome to a quick tutorial about one of my favorite tools for social media marketing. It makes life really easy, especially if you aren't a designer, you don't have that background, but you still want to create those vivid graphics for social media. It's called Adobe Spark, and guess what? The best part, it's completely free. So as you can see here, I've gone to the Adobe Spark website. So this is just spark.adobe.com. And what you're able to do is create a login based off of Google, Facebook, and email, or if you have an Adobe ID, I suggest signing up for a free Adobe ID. It's going to give you a lot of benefits, especially using another piece of software that I'll show you in a while. So you log in with your Adobe ID, and it just asks, what is your Adobe ID? So I'm going to put mine in here. Now, since I've used Adobe Spark for quite a while, you can see some of the templates that come up of mine right away. Another thing that I do want to mention is that I have a premium account because I'm a paid Adobe member. Because of that, I have access to branding, which allows me to set up my own custom branding to use for different posts. Now, that's not included with the free package. However, realize that if you are already an Adobe Creative Cloud user, you'll have access to this. So let's get started here. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to click on the plus at the top. What that's going to do is basically allow me to create something new. So there's a lot of different things that you can do with Adobe Spark that I really want to point out. You can make just a graphic that you'll be able to share across all different social media platforms. You can create a web page, which is a way to highlight an event or kind of do a follow-up after something happened. And then you also have the ability to do video. So there's some awesome components here that you're able to work with. Now, on top of just showing you the desktop model, Adobe Spark has the apps for your phones and devices as well. So you're able to do this both on the computer and on those devices. So I'm going to start off with a new graphic. What this allows me to do is actually start with some sort of template. So they have a lot of different suggestions. They have a lot of different content that's always being updated and created out here. So say I want to do some sort of event notification and I want to do it for Instagram. They have things sized correctly for Instagram. Instagram stories, Facebook ads, all sorts of different already set up templates for you to use. So I'm going to grab this one for Instagram. Now what it's going to do is it's going to basically do a little bit of building, and here it is. So this is a multicolored, pretty traditional like quote type of graphic set up as a square for Instagram. What I'm able to do is go in and start editing all these different components. So I'm able to click onto here and see the different layers. So text styles, the graphic on the back, and I can change these things however I want, and I can basically add or delete different layers. So it's a layered component here. Now, one of the cool things that I really enjoy is if you click on the design on the right hand side, they give you different variations. So these are, again, all those different templates that come up. You also have options to change colors. Now they give you different color palettes to work with that they already have gone through and verify that they work well together. So as you see, when I'm clicking on these, you're seeing the colors actually change within the graphic, and it's changing the graphic entirely. I can also go in and I can change the layout. So if I want to do doubles, if I want to do triples, I can do that all from inside of here. So if I click on this text, I can type whatever kind of quote I want in here. And as you see, this is just straight text, no design components, whatever I want it to say. So if I'm doing this for some event, it could be to come to this event tonight. It resizes it, it changes it, and now I can go in and change the font. So I've got all these different options for different styles of fonts. So you can go through and pick whatever you want. You can change the size, the letter spacing, the line spacing, opacity, the order. So when we're dealing with different layers here, what layer you want it to be on. So if I'm doing something with an event, I'm going to have that up top, but I'm going to want this to be wide. I don't like that it's a square. I can grab this little tab here, the little circles, and stretch it out. Now I have more of this header looking kind of component. However, the white isn't working with that background. So I'm going to go into colors, and they give you a suggested color palette. So you can actually click through these and decide if there's anything that you like there. If there's not, then you have all the colors to choose from below. So find something that works for you that stands out against the background. But realize you want it to be legible. You want people to be able to see it. So picking a color can be kind of tricky here. Black seems to stand out the best. I'm just going to stick with black. Now, what I can do as well is I want to add the date and time or location or some component that explains what the event is. So by going up to add, you now see I can do text, photo, icon, or logo. I'm going to do text. I'm going to say 9 p.m. Wadsworth Hall. It pops it right in there. And actually, it grabbed a font family that I actually like. I think that's nice and bold. I think it sticks out real well. But maybe I want it to look a little different or stand out. So primary is dealing with the font. I can add a secondary style. Now you see when I did that, it basically reversed it. I like that. I like that it went bold. It's doing a great job building this out for me. Down here, I've got the name from the quote. I'm just going to delete that, make that go away. I'm able to basically start playing with this however I want. Now, one of the best parts of dealing with Adobe Spark, and I can grab a resize. Resize will move this around and make it work for whatever I select. So right now it's a square for Instagram. Maybe I want something for Facebook. I can select Facebook, and you see what it did? It tried to resize it the best it possibly could. Now I can go in and actually correct this and make sure that it is, usable because it is cut off at the bottom. I can change it up for Twitter. I can change it up for Pinterest. So all these different sizes, Snapchat story, are already built in. So if I want to then post this to Snapchat, I can go in, move these around so they're centered, make sure I've got, some space in here. And now that same graphic is ready to go for Snapchat. Now, if you're wondering how do you actually get it out to those different channels, that's the best part. You can go up to download, and what that does is download this as a graphic file to your computer or to your phone or device, and then you can share it out that way. Another option is using the share method, and you can actually connect it to Facebook, connect it to Twitter. You can go through and use these different channels right from the software. So what that allows you to do is make sure that you're getting exactly what you want. Going back, I now have the ability to title this post however I want. Now that it's complete, I have this template in here. I could say event tonight. It's got a title. And now when I go back to projects, there it is. You can see it right there and be able to go in, reuse this, re-edit it, do whatever you need to do. And then you can post it and use it continuously. So it's a very interesting way to build these graphics, to resize them, and to get some longevity and some consistency to your brand. One of the other things you can do in here, as I mentioned, was creating a new web page. So I'm going to create a new web page. This is basically one scrolling long website that you're able to build out photos, text, buttons, videos, photos, glide shows, split layouts. You can build these components together and you can use different themes. So I just selected themes in the upper right, and it gives you kind of a starting point for maybe what you want your site to look like. This is a great way, again, to kind of recap an event. You could do photos, you could do things that happened at an event, or if you want to actually build out this web page, and this could be the invitation to an event. So if you've got a Spark post that you use, the graphic could send them to this link, and then this link could have all the information you want. So you're able to build a website without any server, any coding knowledge, have it out there online that people can interact with, and basically do it all for free, built in to Adobe Spark. So you can actually start adding different content here. If you're looking for videos, it wants it from YouTube or Spark Video, which I'm going to show you briefly here. But you're able to build some things out and have it work exactly the way you'd like it to. Now, I'm going to go back, and I'm actually going to go and show you what video looks like. So a lot of you might be uncomfortable with video, and that's totally understandable. Video can be kind of a tricky thing. So I'm just going to put in here event recap. And it's going to give you a template to start from. So you can kind of tell what happened. And I'm going to do tell what happened. Now what this is doing is actually building out a video editor that will let you put things together and make sense. Now there's great tutorials in here, so I recommend, going through the tutorials and being comfortable in here. But you can upload video, text, photos, and actually build it out in kind of a slide manner. So that's a really nice thing. You don't have to have prior video editing knowledge to be able to work in here. It's simple, drag and drop for quick, short videos, especially if you're going to share them out through social media. It's a great tool, again, built into Spark. So you've got Adobe Spark, so you have Post for posting graphics, web pages, and video. I think both of these will work really well for you, and you'll be able to have some fun playing in here because you don't have to be a designer. You don't have to have that knowledge ahead of time to be able to create this awesome content, this creative content, and share it out for your org. The next thing I want to show you is another tool from Adobe called Adobe Rush CC. Now, they have an app for Apple devices as well as a downloadable desktop software. Now, what's awesome with this is it's a brand new tool that just came out, and so it's actually free to use to export one video. So if you're only exporting one video and you want to try this, this is going to give you more advanced options than Adobe Spark Video and gets you one step closer to putting together professional video content. So as you can see, I'm just on the website here, just to give you an introduction. But basically, it is an amazing tool that's all in one for putting together video content in a drag and drop manner and then getting it out to all your social channels and sharing it out. You're going to want to have that free Adobe ID ready so that way you can log in using that. So what I've done here is I've downloaded it. Now this is on a Mac, but you're able to create a new project. So when you create a new project, it's going to give you a lot of different options of where do you want to pull that content from. I'm just going to use the sample media that comes with Adobe Rush to make this easier. So in here, there's a bunch of different MP4 files. We've got an MP3 soundtrack. We've got these different files. So think of this as you've gone out, you've used your device, whether it's a camcorder or you're using a phone or tablet, and you've recorded the things that you want. Now you've got them all together on your device and you're ready to piece it together. Now what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to go through and select all this content. And as you see, it's counting it out to put into the project. I'm going to hit create. And what that's going to do is it's going to actually analyze all that content and piece it together. What's awesome about this is, as you can see, Adobe Rush CC put everything together. It took the order, but it automatically synced it. So going across, the video is already starting. We've got the video clips in there, and it's already decided how it wants to put it together. Ultimately, you could be done at this point. You could let it do the work, and you could export it out using share up at the top here, and you're able to share it out and be done with it. You could put it to YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, or save a file out. Now, most of you will want to do a little bit more, especially if you're playing with your Adobe Rush and you want to develop that content. So over on the right-hand side, we've got titles. So you're able to put text over your video. Transitions, how they're all going to interact between the clips. Color grading. This is amazing. To have free software that's out there that lets you do color grading on a drag and drop video editor is very, very professional, and it allows you to do a lot of cool things to make sure your clips look the best. Audio tracks. Maybe you want a voiceover. Maybe you want to add music. Maybe you need to change the audio that's in the recording that you got. And then crop and rotate if you need to clean things up. If you're one of those people that took portrait style video, remember, landscape, always landscape. You can fix that and play with that in here as well. It's very simple to do these things. I'm just going to show you with a title real quick here of how easy it is to grab a title, and there's all these different templates. Again, you're not having to start off on your own. I'm going to take this. I really like this blue chrome left, and I'm going to bring that out. Now, I've got a main title here. And if I want to do something with it, I can double click and I can actually go in and I can change all the different concepts. The title, I can change the fill, I can change the font if I don't like the font. I have the ability to do the same thing with the subtitle as well. So I'm able to go in here and I can always jump around if I don't like that style and do something different. But I can just title this vacation, and let's just put a day at the beach. Now when that clip comes up, you'll automatically see that title come across. That's that professional looking edit that all I had to do was drag and drop. So if you're really looking to take your video to the next step, explore Premiere Rush CC. It's a great Adobe product, and I think it'll work for a lot of you that want to get into video without that big upfront investment. Hopefully these tools between Adobe Spark and Adobe CC Rush will be the right tools for you.